I'm Eben Donko, a tennis coach in the Northern Virginia area, and I do run USTA Junior Team Tennis League. And I do get a lot of questions about USTA Junior Team Tennis League. And today I wanted to make a video and tell you what it's all about, because I know that majority of this information is posted online on my website, on USTA website, and many other websites. However, with the busy schedule and bombardment of emails, sometimes the parents don't get their hands on all of the different emails that will answer most of their questions. So I have decided to start making short videos like this to explain it. So sometimes you can just watch it whilst you are idle somewhere, and you get an email, you click on a link, and a video plays. So here we go. USTA Junior Team Tennis. What is it? USTA Junior Team Tennis brings together boys and girls ages 6 through 18 to play singles, doubles, and mixed doubles against other co-ed teams in your local area. Beyond it being fun, it's a great form of exercise. Junior team tennis is competitive, level-based environment that promotes individual growth, social growth, and life skills. Why junior team tennis is right for you? With junior team tennis, you will learn about unity, sportsmanship, and how to work together to achieve success. You will also learn that success is not just about winning, it's about how you play the game and how you respond to challenges in the game. So let me give you a little more overview in terms of how the junior team tennis works. It's usually played, there are 3 different seasons. We have the fall-winter season, winter-spring season, and then the summer season. And all of these different seasons, they choose the top 2 teams, the top 2 winning teams, to represent the local area on a regional stage. And from the regional stage, they take top 2 teams from there to represent the regional, all the regional teams on a sectional stage. And then the sectional stage is where they take the best team from there to represent the whole section on a national stage. So it's a progressive year-round thing that the juniors, it gets them engaged, it gives them something to do. They are always focused on the weekends, especially if they don't have any activities on the weekends. This tends to be a very good way for our juniors to stay focused and also keep them out of trouble. So in our area, we are in the Northern Virginia area, Mid-Atlantic District in the Northern Virginia area. So the Northern Virginia area, the farthest west you travel to play a typical match, and all the matches are, especially for the winter, the fall, winter, and spring season, are indoors, and then the summer season are outdoors. So the fall, winter is going to be indoors throughout the season. The matches will be played indoors. The winter, spring season will be indoors, with the exception of maybe the last 2 weekends. There are a couple of areas that uses the bubble, like Ashburn, and they may take their bubble down, so you may go over there like the last 2 seasons, but usually the league coordinator doesn't schedule matches over there. So instead of Ashburn match being played at Ashburn, they may probably request Trump or maybe FRC, Fairfax Racket Club, or some other indoor court, and see if they can get an extra 2 hours or 4 hours to get the matches that would have been played at Ashburn at these places. Now, these other places that I mentioned has a permanent structure, so the matches that are scheduled there will be indoors throughout the season. So the farthest west you travel is Ashburn, and the farthest east is Skyline, or around yeah, Skyline, close in Alexandria area, I think. That is the farthest you travel. Everything else is in between. We have Trump, we have FRC, we have Wallgate, we have Country Club of Fairfax, we have McLean Racket and Health Club, we have Regency Racket Club, Vermont, and what else? I think that's just about it. If there is any more, there used to be Riverbend, but yeah, Riverbend too has indoor courts, and they do run team tennis leagues from there. So you have all of these different places. You get a schedule ahead of time. Most of the time they will give you the schedule like 2 or 3 days in advance, and then you'll be able to plan accordingly and go to the matches. So the first week, the way the league coordinator runs, so the first week you are going to get about the schedule for the first weekend matches, which is going to be this weekend coming up on 19th of October. The first matches schedule will be out like tomorrow morning or maybe tonight. I haven't checked yet, but I will check it up pretty quick and see if there are matches. So once I get the matches, I load them into tennis management system that I use, and there is an app that goes with it and everything, and I can push the match notification to the parents, and then they will be able to let me know if their child is available or not available to play. Now coming next week, after all the teams are formed and the league coordinator is certain that there's no team being dropped out, what they would do is release the subsequent schedule. So now you get a schedule about 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks ahead of time until the playoffs. So the playoffs time, because there's really no way to predict which teams are going to go into the playoffs and which are not. So this match has to play until we get closer to the playoffs, and then the playoff schedules are released and we go through the playoffs and they declare which team came in first and second and third and so forth. The first 2 teams qualify to regional championships, which will be sometime during the summer, and a couple of weeks after that there's the sectionals championships, and then maybe a month or 2 after that there's the nationals championship. So that's the breakdown of the junior team tennis in our area. I believe every area, which I haven't really researched to see if every area runs it the same way like we do, but most likely it will be very close to it, because once they get to the sectional and national level, their formats are the same. So I assume every area is run like the way our area is run. It's also very, very good in terms of tennis wise for girls, and the reason why I say that is this: girls in general don't like tennis that much. Population wise is 50-50 boys and girls in terms of gender, but if you go to a typical tennis tournament, you see like boys tournament, like boys 12 and under, you see maybe about 32 size of draw. You may see about 18, 19, 20, sometimes 25 in a 32 draw. And then you look at the exact same event for the girls, and you have maybe about 2, 4 girls, sometimes no girls. And then you ask yourself, well, where are the girls? Are girls playing tennis at this age and stuff like that? Yes, they are playing, but it's not many of them. Compared to soccer, lacrosse, softball, or basketball, team sport, girls like team sport a lot, because they like to share the success and defeat together, but boys really don't care that much. For example, if you have like a preteen girl, maybe about 11, 12, 13, 14, they are highly sensitive as to whether they win or lose and stuff like that. So With team tennis, we tell them you may win and your team will lose, and you can lose and your team will win. So the win or lose effect is not, doesn't crush their confidence as much in a team environment as it is in an individual environment. So the team builds that. And sometimes too, if I'm by myself, it's very easy for you to see me lose a match and cry, right? But if I'm with a team, I kind of feel shy to cry in the presence of my team. So that also supports with the emotional roller coaster when it comes to winning and losing and all that stuff. I haven't done a research on it. This is what I read from somewhere, but I believe it to be true. And also I do have the two older girls that play team tennis. I put them into team tennis from the beginning because I was aware of this individualness of tennis, and wanted them to be in a team environment where it encourages them to compete consistently. And hey, I would say I started them seriously, teaching them from the ages of 12 and 10, and both of them played junior team tennis throughout until they are 18 or until they were getting ready to go to college, and the goal was to get them into college scholarship. Both of them did receive a college scholarship offer. One of them is in Texas A&M Kingsville at the moment, playing on their tennis team on a scholarship. So it is fantastic too. It's very competitive, and a lot of people don't think it's that competitive, but I say it is very competitive. I've seen the advanced level, and if any player can play like that, they will get a college scholarship like in a heartbeat. A lot of colleges will come over there and recruit them. My daughter was Maya was playing junior team tennis until the week before she went to college. So she had sectional championships, and it was happening somewhere early August, and early August of last year, and somewhere around mid of August she was going to college. So that is how much she played it, and I kept her in. I encouraged her to do it, and she also wanted to do it. I mean, she didn't want to give it up, even though she was going to college, even though she had a scholarship offer and all of that stuff. She still didn't turn her back on her team and say, hey, I'm into college, you guys go and fight it out. She was there to play with them and go through it. So that is a testament as to how competitive it could be. And I encourage you to put your kids through junior team tennis and have them go through the cycle. It's very rewarding. It's also highly economically sound in terms of, you pay about $160 to like $200 per season, and they have 10 matches that they will play, and and you don't have to travel far. If you compare it to tennis tournament, you register for one tournament is about what, $50–$60 per tournament entry. If they lose first round or second round, they are out. The next week, the following week, you have to do the same thing. Tournaments could be in the local area, or as far as all the way to California, and we are in the East Coast. So in terms of junior team tennis, I think it's very economical on the budget. So if you are someone that you want your kids to play tennis, but you don't have the financial means of supporting them all the way to have them travel across the country to play in a tournament, they could do junior team tennis. I have done it for my own kids, and it worked, and to a point where they receive college scholarship. They can play professional if they want to, and that way it's a decision that I leave it up to them to do it after their college career. So it is very good, I have done it since 2009. So I've been in junior team tennis for like 10 years now, and it's been very good to me and my family, and that is why I want to do this and share it with you. So I hope you like it. I hope you enjoy it. Put your kids in junior team tennis. I am starting a league right now, and if this is something that you want to do for your children, there will be a link below this video. Click on the link, go to my website, fill in a Google form sheet, and submit your information, and I'll put you in the league. Okay, in my teams in the league, and we'll carry you. You could live anywhere, so long as you can travel within the geographical area that I gave you to do. But if you live close to me and you also want to do team practices, I have team practices on the weekends that are going now. So weekend early in the morning, we get out there like between 9 to about 1 o'clock, and we train them. And then they have matches in the afternoons, like from 3 to 5 or 4 to 6. Typical match lasts for 2 hours, and 1 hour for singles, 1 hour for doubles. It starts on the hour, so if a match is starting at 4, you need to be there way before 4, because 4 on the dot the matches start. The warm-up is starting, 5 minutes warm-up, and then you play. They play a short set to 4 with no ad scoring, and if they get to 3-0, they play a 7-point tiebreaker. If they split set, they play a 10-point tiebreaker for the third set. So that is how it is played. It's good. It's better than nothing. So if you definitely don't have the means to chase tournaments and your kids wants to play tennis, consider putting them in junior team tennis. And I do have a lot of teams I'm running, and can support as many players as the league will allow me to put in. I have a system, it works, and it's able to handle a lot of players. And if I need help, I will definitely hire some other hands to help me out with it. So I hope you enjoy the junior team tennis presentation. It's a little bit lengthier than I thought it would be, but 20 minutes overview of junior team tennis is 17 minutes or so now. So I hope it is something that you will consider and put your kids in. And also, yeah, this is also another good part of it, especially if your kid is trying to join a high school league. Instead of waiting till high school tryouts to do this, junior team tennis can prepare them and get them ready for high school tennis. I've done it for a lot of kids this way, and they were able to get into high school roster. Some of them didn't make the starting lineup, but at least they got onto the team. Some of them made a starting lineup and took it further. In terms of my daughters, they made a starting lineup. They played #1 for their school. They won their conference championships, and took it to national stage and all that good stuff. So it is definitely something to look into. It covers all aspects of tennis. I played college tennis, D1, on a full tennis scholarship, so I know how competitive it is, and it is very competitive. Yeah, the local league may not be competitive because some of the kids are just trying out, but once you do it a few times, there is also the beginners league, there is the intermediate, and then there is the advanced. So if they start with the beginners or the intermediate and the kids are not very competitive, don't take that as it being non-competitive league. No, absolutely not. The goal is to get to regionals, get to sectionals, and the ultimate goal, the crown jewel of this whole thing, is the national championships. So if your kid is really that good at the local level, have them play in it, put them on standby, let them be like a ringer that will come in and help the team get to the next stage. And then the next stage, let them step up and play and take their teams to the national stage. And if they can do that, they will get college scholarship all over the place, because the national competition, there are college coaches over there recruiting to put your players on the stuff on their team, so you could potentially get recruited at that level. So the local league, if it's not as competitive as you think it is, I set a mini goal that I set for my daughters. I say, okay, if you really say it's not that tough, go out there, beat everybody 4-0, 4-0, 4-0, 4-0 throughout the season, and let's see if you can do that, right? Or don't lose a match throughout the season. Prove it to me that you are really that good. Don't lose a match throughout the season. Let's see if you can do that, both singles and doubles. So at some point in time, the good player will have to step up and carry the weaker player in the match to win the singles and doubles, and that is not very easy to do. So some of the kids, they may say they are more advanced, and you go over and you beat somebody 4-1, 4-1. That doesn't mean that is the level that the league is. No, it's far from it. There are players on other teams that will give you a competitive match, and as you play through, as the league matures and get to playoffs, you get to see which the really good teams are and play them, advance, and then make it to the next stage. Let's see. So that is what I will leave with you parents to make the decision. Okay, I know it's a little bit lengthy, but it's good information. Junior team tennis is starting this weekend. We are forming the teams. If I have to form more teams, I'll be able to form it. So let's get into it and get our kids trained in playing very high level competitive tennis. Alright, thank you very much for listening. Until the next thing that comes up, have a good evening.